Nazir Stackhouse just running at you, freaking full-fledged.
No, he's a monster, man. All right, so there you go. Just a little edge room talk. Tim, what stood out to you, man? What's something that you're excited about in terms of what we've seen in the first week of training camp? Guys, we got football tomorrow. Like, we literally got the Halloween game tomorrow, which is wild to think about. But
that's crazy.
What do you think here, Tim, about about training camp so far, man?
I guess for me, coming off the sideline yesterday with that once-in-a-lifetime experience, getting to see some of it. Yeah, shout out to Rob, man. Thank you,
Rob.
Finally got to see, get a pretty good look at our secondary going to work up close and personal. And I guess I kind of wanted to just have an open conversation about, the safety room and the cornerback room. Mm-hmm. I would start by asking you guys a question. When it comes to corners, what would your projected number be? How many corners do you think we keep on this roster?
Jacob, I'm going to get your take. Here's what the cornerback room looks like according to PFF as it sits right now. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to give you guys the number on how many we actually carried last year.
Isn't it 5? I thought it was 5.
It's 5, correct?
Is that what it was?
I think.
I would think 5, Tim, just because I think we have so much talent other places, and I don't know if we'll get to that press conference, all of it, but Jeff Hafley really had great things to say about Bo Melton to the point where it went past coach speak. He actually described specifically how when they asked him to make that switch, it was 2 different conversations specifically that Matt LaFleur and him had. The second one was enough to convince him, let's actually give this a real shot. He went and talked to Bo Melton and specifically told him, this is going to be a tough transition. We don't expect you to come out here and be perfect. We actually expect you to come out and kind of be doo-doo, is what he basically kind of said in summary, and said, don't get upset at yourself. Don't get down on yourself, because we're not going to. We know that we're asking you to do something that's very hard to do, that not many guys in this league would, one, even be willing to do, which he said that's the type of, he said, you win with guys like Bo Melton. He specifically said you win football games with Bo Melton, and you want those types of players on your team. And then he went on to describe how his physical attributes he was very surprised at. His ability to backpedal, his ability to adjust on balls, his ability to be to recognize breaks and motions. And it really does help probably that Bo Melton has that offensive knowledge as to what wide receivers are trying to do. So I really do think that we are past the point of it just being coach speak and him just changing numbers. I think that they actually think there's a part of Bo Melton that could be I don't know if he'd be a starting corner, but he would make the Green Bay Packers as an actual corner, which is crazy.
And it's cool too, because you can kind of shortchange the receiver position a little bit, not that you would want to, knowing that in a pinch, he could play a little receiver, right? It's kind of like the Savion Williams effect. If he's healthy, you got a guy who could probably play tailback for you in a pinch if you need him to. If somebody gets a little banged up, maybe you're a little light in the running back room on game day. So I think it's a great point, Jake. I really do. In terms of what they broke camp with last year, Tim, the answer was there was 5 corners and 5 safeties is what they broke camp with. Now, again, we know it usually – I remember the year that Micah Abernathy made the team. I was so fired up. I'm like, he's on the 53. Let's go. 6 hours later, he was gone. They cut him, right? So we know that that's going to shift around a bit. But when you look at the PFF grades, Carrington Valentine led the way at 65.5, Keyshawn Nixon 64.1, Nate Hobbs 61.4, Javon Bullard 54.2. Keep in mind with Javon Bullard, some of his lowest graded games, some of his worst performance last year was him playing safety. It sounds like he is the number 1 nickel star slot corner, right? That's how that's going to play out this year. It seems like early on here in camp. So the rest of the players on this roster, Kamal Haddon, this is cornerback room, Kamal Haddon, Kalen King, Garnett Hollis Jr., Gregory Jr., Jonathan Baldwin, Bo Melton, Tyron Herring, Micah Robinson, and Isaiah Dunn. Now, Bugs got cut today, right, Tim? Am I thinking right, man?
Yeah, Mr. Brown is no longer with us, and I believe we picked up another linebacker. I think
he's still
another
alive,
linebacker,
right?
And then we're yeah, he's no longer with the team. Yeah, he's with humanity, but no longer a Packer. But I believe they picked up a linebacker.
Chat though, to be honest with you, Tim, half the chat's completely checked out. Go ahead, sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, I think they worked out a couple linebackers. I know they signed one, I think, for sure, and then there's another one. Really, Easton Butler had all of the up to the minute info today, so make sure you guys follow him on X if you want the rundown. But yeah, no Bugs Brown on the list anymore. So that answers my question. So let's just for argument's sake, let's say the numbers stay the same. Let's say it's 5 and 5, right? So 5-5 when it comes to your corners. Clearly it's Nate Hobbs, it's Keyshawn, and it's CV. Those three are in, right? I don't think anyone would debate that, right? They're going to make this team. So then who are the other two? And that's what I think is so interesting about this cornerback room, because Kamal Hadden has played well. We've seen flashes from Baldwin. Micah Robinson had a hell of a practice the other day, although I don't know what's going on with him. He looked like he was walking a little funny. I'm going to be honest. I hope he didn't twist or turn something. Yeah.
He wasn't on the sauce, was he?
I don't know. He just his right ankle looked like it was bugging him the other day, but
maybe he drank a Celsius.
Yeah, that could be an absolute nothing burger too, right? So my question is, of those three that we named, who are the next two to round out the five? Because we just talked about Bo. I think that's a great point in the chat. Bo's going to probably make this team. I mean, the coaches are in love with him, and he's, I think, surprised a lot of people by not being a complete disaster at corner, and is somebody that they can, mold and work with on this team. So let's say Bo's the fourth. Well, who's your fifth? To me, it comes down to Micah Robinson and probably Kamal Hadden. I think.
And you're probably counting Javon Bullard in the safety room right now.
He's listed as a safety on the team site, so I'm considering him a safety. Yeah.
Got it. So if Bull's one of the five safeties there, I'll tell you, here's a good way we could do it, Tim. If you wanted to, we get real creative. Let's tack the safeties on here too. So let's go 10 players. You can pick 10 players right here, right?
Okay, I got my safeties already.
All right, what do you got? Safety.
Zane, Javon, Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams.
Okay,
that's
so there's
five.
your 4.
Is that 5?
That's 4.
That's 4. Then KT Oladapo. That's my 5th.
So that's 5. Got it. And all right, so you get your 5 there. And then when you look at the corners, you're counting Bull as a safety. So if we go back to just corners, like you were saying, you're looking at Carrington Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, and you said your 4th was going to be Bo. Is that right?
Well, based on the vibe in the locker room right now, right. I mean, a lot can change in a couple of weeks, though. We got some preseason games coming up. I mean, if Bo's getting cooked out there at the cornerback position, things could change really quickly. I personally think he might impress us and really shock a lot of people. So I'm going to go ahead and keep him there as my 4th. And then I think my 5th is going to be Micah Robinson.
Yeah. And for me,
or Kalen King. I mean, it's tough.
That's what I was going to say. It kind of feels like Kalen King. However, you guys remember Kalen King was put on the practice squad last year, right?
Yeah.
If I remember right. Let me double check here. So the 5 corners we broke camp with last year: Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes, Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, Corey Valentine. So yeah, we ended up putting Kalen King, Robert Rochelle, and Jamon Green. Yeah. They were all released, and I think obviously Kalen King was signed back on the practice squad. So Kalen King's contract reset probably to a futures. You got him basically got rights to him for 3 more years, so you avoided the contract. However, you're picking up the 3 future contracts, so it kind of all comes out in the wash. Do you want to protect Jonathan or Micah Robinson being a 7th round pick this year and keep that 4-year contract intact? Kalen King made it through waivers last year. Do you feel confident he'll make it again, or is it something where Kalen King's kind of taking a step forward? Because it feels like to me, I could be wrong, Tim, but it feels like Kalen King's having a pretty good camp.
A really good camp.
So far. Right, whatever it is. But I mean, it's looking like he's looking pretty good, taking a step forward.
Yep, it's very true. Kalen King made a couple of plays yesterday at practice. It was something fun to see, and even more fun to see the rest of the defense get hype behind him, and a lot of guys rooting for him on that team. I've said it before, I'll say it again. These guys are out here playing for each other. Ignore all the chippiness and all that. That's just part of training camp. These guys don't have beef with each other. They're all just trying to make a football team, pick each other up out there. But the competition is real. I'm with William here in the chat. My money's on King. He's been playing well. I'd like to see him. Maybe this is the year that he does actually squeak his way into the 53, but it's probably definitely going to be between him and Bo at this point. Yeah. And then, Micah Robinson too. Now, we have yet to see really, what he can really do, but I'm looking forward to seeing him in the preseason, hopefully. If he can stay healthy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob. It seems like the chat is all over Kalen King, ain't they? I mean, is that
there seems to be. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of people in here that are excited about King, and I am also. I was going to ask. I like what Ed Madden said. I for some reason I just think Kamal Hadden has maybe an equal shot as Kalen King just because he's got a little more size, a little more experience. Ed Maddens went on to say, I think they might go with a bigger cornerback to match up with big receivers. And just wondering have you seen any flashes from Kamal Hadden? What do you think, Tim?
I got to be honest, I haven't. I've gotten one really good day to watch the secondary, and I was keying in on Kalen King and Micah Robinson, just because I wanted to see what those guys, and obviously Bo, I watched a little bit of Bo. But I definitely think that, Kamal Hadden's another guy that, wasn't he a practice squatter for us last year?
I thought so.
I think he was, yeah. Because they picked him up. Kansas City cut him, and the Packers, I want to say the Packers, I could be wrong. I think they might have picked him up on the 53 and then stashed him on the practice squad. There's a little cat and mouse that goes there too, right? So
yeah.
And this is all barring injuries, right?
Yeah, exactly, because that'll change everything up. I guess under the radar guys, I'd keep an eye on Herring and Isaiah Dunn. Those would be the only other names I can think of.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else on the DB room, boys? That was a fun conversation. I'm glad we kind of hit that. Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right, cool.